Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel called Dudy Traveling. Right now, I want to tell you how my story in Zimbabwe ended. You remember? You probably saw the previous parts about how I was arrested in Zimbabwe. It took me like over 2 months because I was just waiting for the papers from the court, and they finally sent after like 2.5 months, but only these are actually the real papers. These are just copies, or it's doubled or something, even a different case. So unfortunately, they are not really being clear. They are not really giving the proper information. I actually even found this paper where they actually say that yes, I do accept the accusations, the allegations, which is totally crazy. I've never done that. It has never been. I don't know where did they get it from. Also, there was another paper with the defense outline, which is dated to 20th of August. I don't remember being at the court at that time. It's really strange, right? And then I will also tell you more about the deportation. Yes, insane. They deported me, though I was acquitted of all the charges. Anyway, before we start, I want to tell you one thing. A lot of comments, a lot of people are supporting me. I really thank you for so much for that. Like it's really amazing, especially if you are a Zimbabwean and you can admit it really shows that you love your country if you want your country to be better. However, there are also comments that are saying, yeah, I deserve it. That's how everybody is supposed to be treated. Okay, I understand that there is somebody who loves his country beyond all means. It does not mean that you have to support police lying, courts not functioning well. Even no matter how much you love your country, still the police should not be lying. That's just the principle. And I'm not talking about Zimbabwe. I'm not talking about that Zimbabweans are bad. You should not take it personal. What I'm saying is what happened to me. I'm saying everything clearly. I'm saying everything as it was. I'm not adding up. I'm not lying. I'm trying to back everything up with the evidences, which, as you see, I'm not even getting. So apparently there is some dodgy play behind, right? Some of these comments really shocked me, to be honest. Therefore, I am doing this video because I want to make sure that people understand and people will not allow to put anyone else in the prison, be it the tourists, which is just a small fraction. More bigger problem is the people from Zimbabwe being in prison. I've met so many people, so many really nice people. The Zimbabweans are so generous, so helpful, and such great people. Why should they be in the prison? Because the police decides. Let me just start with the story, right? You remember the reason why I was in the prison, right? So here there was, I think this was the first paper, says that I'm accused of communicating or publishing or communicating false statements under a law that doesn't exist. Which is first the one weird thing. The request for remand is stating the same. However, if you remember, at the court on 5th of August, they stated that the state wants to erase the alternative charge of criminal nuisance. This will be very important when the court starts. Let me first tell you about the condition I was in just before the court. I was totally exhausted. I told you a week before my ambassador came for a short visit. We had time to talk. After 2 weeks, I finally get my basic human right, which is even stated here that I have the right to call or to contact. However, I had this skin rash, you remember? So I was already exhausted from the skin rash. I didn't get treated. I was scratching all the time. I couldn't sleep, and it got even worse. I think the ambassadors, they bought me some cream and some medicine, so this got better. However, on Sunday, I got heat stroke. I was totally dehydrated. I didn't have enough water, and I felt really bad. On Monday, I was having fever. While I was shivering, I was being cold, and it was really terrible. I went to the clinic. I asked for if they can measure my temperature. They just said we don't do these things in Zimbabwe. Like, okay, and again, I'm not talking about the people in Zimbabwe. I'm talking about the system. If the prisons don't even have like doctors who are helping people, the doctors should be totally not caring if the person is a criminal or not. Yet even this was a remand prison, they should simply take care of the people's health, right? So I spent like the first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I couldn't even walk. Going to the clinic, which was about 300 meters, I got totally exhausted. I was hungry. I was dehydrated, and on Wednesday I managed to bathe a bit, so I can be clean and go to the court on Thursday. So the date was August 22nd. 20 days in prison. It was really crazy. As I told you, I was dehydrated, hungry, exhausted, sick, and on top of it, it got really cold. The night before, the Wednesday, was super cold. I was frozen. We had to go out to count, to do the foreign. They counted us. Foreign means like to squat in front of the cell. They counted us. We got back in. We get outside. We squat somewhere else. They counted us. They put the handcuffs on the hands, on the legs. Then we went to the other room. We squat again. We stood up. We went outside. We squat, like all of this. Then we went to the transport. Then we went to the prison. To the court. Squat, stand, all the time, like crazy. I was already totally emotionally, physically, mentally exhausted. And on top of it, it was so cold. I was putting the jacket, the upper part of the prison uniform on my legs. I had a sweater, so I was trying to like cover up, like warm myself up. It was really cold. There was no sun in the cell. They sent us back and forth all the time in the handcuffs. It was really difficult. And finally, we arrived to the court. It must have been like 11 or something. And the really crazy thing started. I was all the time thinking, I have a bail. I have paid a $500 bail. So why am I even in the jail, right? Anyways, I just came to the courtroom and my lawyer came to me and told me that the problem is that they put another bail. The immigration put a bail. Like, what has an immigration to do with this? He wanted extra $1,000. The lawyer told me it's actually paid. 5 seconds after, he said I have to pay. Later, he said it's paid. He was not making sense. It was totally confusing what he was saying. But then we got back again in the small room, in the small darker room behind the court, and so on. But after finally the court started, or at least I thought it started. It did not. The judge was not yet there. The lawyer came to me and he said, Lucas, they have no case against you. They have nothing against you. Let's do something. We'll give you a different accusation. We just accuse you on something. We'll give you a $200 fine. You just say, yes, you are guilty. You get a $200 fine and you go out. I was like, what? You are my lawyer. They have nothing against me. Why should I say I'm guilty? Right before the court, right? I told him I want to immediately talk to my ambassador. He did not allow me, but he came out with the ambassador. He came outside on the hallway. It took like half an hour or 20 minutes at least. And they were discussing something. I was sent back, and I was just waiting. I didn't know what's going on. Later, they called me back again into the courtroom. Remember, I was so exhausted. I was barely walking. I was barely standing. I was coughing. I was really not feeling well. I couldn't even pay attention for a while. That's what they actually wanted me to be in this state, and then just tell me, make me plead guilty and make me pay and go. However, it was the game played on. The lawyer gave me a note, a message from my ambassador that he's telling me, the ambassador was writing me, that I should accept what they say. However, I was asking him, like, what should I accept? How can I accept something? How can I be charged on something I don't even know what? I should plead guilty. And what's gonna be next? Are you gonna sentence me to 20 years prison? That's all what was in my head. I was questioning him. How can they even pressure you doing decisions at this time? So suddenly, the judge entered the room. So we had to start. Do you still remember the accusation? Publishing false information, and also the 5th of August when they decide to erase the criminal nuisance accusation. I was really shocked. These papers are actually the ruling. I don't have the papers from the court. I only have like 6 papers from the ruling, which is not even half of what maybe even a third of what the real number of the papers is, and what actually I paid for. Anyways, the court started, and they started reading that I'm charged with criminal nuisance under Section Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act. Hello? The charge has been erased. I have been in jail for 3 weeks under a different charge. Like, what is this? What is going on? They said that the state alleges that the accused engaged in conduct that disturbed the peace of the public. Okay, so no publishing information, no lies, no, like, how can you just change the whole case? How can you change everything? So they said that video depicting mourners of Wellington, Zimbabwe, who had tragically died after being struck by a truck. What? It's a completely different case. Nothing has been said about this before. And then they say I made several statements in the video. So then they went all through the statements, reading all everything. And the good thing was that they actually told me what is the criminal nuisance. The criminal nuisance is the offense if you unlawfully and intentionally cause annoyance to the public. Okay. However, the burden in the criminal proceeding, the burden of proof rests with the state. That's normal. Of course, if somebody accuses you, they have to put the evidence, right? That's how it's supposed to be. And it's been 3 weeks without giving a single evidence. So it started with calling the witnesses. There will be 3 witnesses. The first witness, Paul Charlie. Here is just a very short, brief summary of his statement that he was testifying that he received a tip about the accused recording a video. A tip. Like, suddenly they come with a story that there was an informant who told them that I'm recording a video. That's weird, right? Charlie also claimed that the accused was shouting in public space, causing annoyance. However, the judge writes, this testimony was inconsistent regarding the specifics of the accused's statements and whether they were indeed false. So you can clearly see that there was an inconsistency in his speech, or in his statements. Let me tell you the inconsistencies. So first, the judge or the prosecutor started asking him, then the judge was asking him, after the lawyer was my lawyer was asking him as well. Let me just tell you some of the things he said. First of all, he started the story about some informant, some person who apparently came to him and he told him that I'm telling something, some lies, right? Actually, to be honest, how can he hear something, the policeman, how can he hear what I was saying at the beginning of the video, right? Even now here he admits that he did not. He was saying that he arrested me on the parking lot. In the next sentence, he was telling me he arrested me, he was in the middle of the street and he actually had to come and approach me. So this already shows that this is a lie. The craziest thing, what he said was actually that when the judge asked him if I would do exactly the same video, saying exactly the same thing at exactly the same situation, everything the same, would you arrest me? He started shouting, no, I would not arrest you, no, but he's a foreigner. I have to arrest him. He can use it. Like, sorry, what about the basis of the law that everybody is equal? And is there any law that foreigners are to be treated differently, that foreigners cannot do certain things compared to the locals? No, there is not. And that's not what they even tried to make such a case. They were also asking him if he has some evidences. What he said, he was putting his fist on the heart and he was saying, me, I'm the evidence, I'm saying it. And I'm not a liar, I'm saying it. He was shouting like this, I'm me, I'm saying this, I'm not a liar. I'm here, I'm to witness this. Sorry, but you need to have an evidence, which is obviously not. And even you yourself are saying that what I did is not a crime. You would not even arrest if the person was someone else. So this is very clearly done. It's just very clear that this is just some stories to put on me, right? Anyways, after this first witness, the interpreter, there was an interpreter, we spoke in English, but the interpreter started giggling. She already knew what's going on. So the judge called a break, a lunch break. So I went back again with the handcuffs. It was really cold. I really needed to sleep. Just before going there, my lawyer approached me and he gave me a paper. I don't have the paper. I've never given the paper. On the back side, there was my defense, which I didn't even know about it. He just gave me the paper and he told me to write everything where this Charlie, where he lied. I finished the page within like 20 minutes and the rest I just spent sleeping. There were some incidents in the prison, but I'm not gonna be telling you about that. Like, there was one prisoner who was a bit slower, and he told me something, and he was like really proud on it. He was told me the pen when I. Anyways, as I was telling you, the Zimbabwe people are really nice. Like, the others, they helped me. They just told him, they made him to return it. They gave me some food also. They had some biscuits and some drinks. So again, I'm telling you, these people are not supposed to be in the prison as well. If the system would be good, they would not be there. So we get back, and I gave the lawyer the whole paper. I was telling him and questioning, how is it possible that this Charlie, the first witness, actually heard me saying the first thing, while he was clearly somewhere else, and how could he manage to do everything and arrest me within 34 seconds? That's the length of the video, right? That's simply impossible. So they called the second witness. And that's where it starts crazy. And that's the reason why they don't want to give me the the transcripts, I think. Because this Give More Zoo, he said he's accompanying Charlie. He provided a narrative similar to the Charlie's, but they were differing on certain details regarding the positioning during the incident. His testimony did not substantiate the claim that the accused's action significantly disturbed public peace. So all the story that they are trying to create was again proved with the second witness that it's not a real thing. So what did he say? Basically, the most important thing what he said was, when they asked him how long is the video, he was like, I don't know, like 40-50 minutes. Crazy, right? Like, the video was 34 seconds. They gave the video to the judge. He was clearly lying. No shame. Clearly lying. He was also saying that he is the evidence that he is not lying, that these things like just statements. He was speaking Shona, and the interpreter was just laughing. Like with the first one she was giggling, here she was just regularly laughing. Anyways, this Give More was another police officer, right? All of the witnesses were just police officers. This Give More started with this story that they actually that there was actually some informant, some of the mourners probably, who saw me recording the videos and came to the police station to report me. Okay, so first of all, you need to identify that person because that's a witness. You need to take his statement and so on. Where is that? Nowhere. That person miraculously disappeared, right? As he appeared miraculously just right now in the whole story. So he said that the informant came to his office. He came to Give More. And Give More went to look for Charlie. He found Charlie, and they both went outside. They were listening to me for several minutes. And after several minutes, when they established that I'm speaking lies, they arrested me. That's what he said. Okay, the video is 34 seconds. Again, how can you go to the police station, report, go out, find a colleague, get out, listen for several minutes? That's exactly what he said. We listened for several minutes, and then they arrested me. Pretty impossible, right? Then came the last witness, and that was already absurd. The witness was called Simbisa Shumba or something like that. That's the investigating officer. She admitted to a lack of thorough investigation, confirming that no independent statement were taken. She acknowledged the presence of electricity and water. What? Contradicting the accused claims, right? Importantly, she also mischaracterized the accused method of recording, stating that he used the back camera instead of the selfie camera, which was the different version of the other two witnesses. Yes, it was the different version of the other two witnesses. And it was different version than the fact, right? Like on the video, it is very clearly seen that I'm recording myself. By the way, the mourners were in front of me, right? So how can I record the mourners if I'm recording myself? I am on the video. She just cold-blooded. She just lied. They asked her, which camera did I use? The front camera. He's not even on the picture. He's not even on the video. Like, he was recording these people. Okay. They asked her, how long is the video? Oh, it's over 1 hour, 1.5 hours. It's really long. They asked her, like, what if I tell you that the video is only 34 seconds? She was like, oh yeah, I edited it. I cut the video so you don't have so much work with it. It was just ridiculous. I couldn't believe my own eyes. She was saying, they asked her about the price of the accommodation. She said, I don't know. I don't have that information. So after that, he asked her, I think it was the prosecutor, did you actually make investigation? Did you go to the hotel and ask them about the price? She said, oh yeah, I did. Did you ask them about the price? Yeah, I did. I asked them. What's the price? Yeah, as he says, those $25-$30. What? Just 3 sentences before, you said you don't have that information. You're clearly hiding. You're clearly lying. That's insane. You lie about the camera which I'm using, about the length of the video, about the about the investigation itself. They asked her also if she was talking about the informant as well. This story, this new story. She said yes, but then that he disappeared. They didn't have time about the like to hear him, and it was just so weird. Everybody was already like wondering what the hell is going on. After they asked her the last question, I'm even laughing right now. They asked her whether there was electricity or not. She said, yes, there was electricity and water as well. Everything was there. They asked her, did you hear the question? Yes, I heard the question. They answered like 3 times the same question. She was like, yes, there was electricity, there was electricity. So they asked her again, what if I tell you that your colleague said there was no electricity? She said, my colleagues are liars, don't trust them, I'm the only one who is telling the truth. Like they are just lying. You cannot believe anybody but me. I'm the only one who is honest and who is actually like good and blah blah blah. Everybody was laughing. Even the judge was laughing. Like it was crazy. There was, as in the ruling says, there are scheduled times when water will not be available together with electricity. This is a known thing. This was announced, and she just changed. You remember this lady, this Simbiso Shumba. You remember her from the first court, right? She was also the witness. Shumba confirmed in cross-examination that the amount charged per room at the Backpackers Lodge is the same figure that the accused had mentioned in the video. All of these things were mentioned in the ruling. I was just shocked. I was sure if the case is considered, then they cannot, like, there's simply zero case. There is no evidence. The police is lying. It's proved several times. There cannot be anything. They also said that the distance and my statements do not appear to be directed at the mourners or the public in a confrontational manner. Anyways, let me read the ruling later. But I also want to tell you, after the court, do you remember I was having the bail? So I was supposed to go out anyways. I was supposed to wait for the ruling, and then if they would sentence me, I would go to jail. Yes, but I was not supposed to be in the remand prison. The lawyer told me everything is paid and so on. So I wanted to talk to him after the court. He came, he was telling me, yes, the ambassadors are already waiting there in front of the prison. You just need to go there to pick up your stuff and then you go with them. I arrived, they were not there. Of course, they didn't. They never even knew they were supposed to go there. That was just not true. Even more worrying thing was that Knowledge Mafubire, my lawyer, he came to the prison on Wednesday, the day before the court. I told you. He showed me the bail, and he told me that it's paid. However, later on, he came to the immigration and he was talking for half an hour with the immigration. That's what the others told me. Like, luckily, at least the bad people are also enjoying the suffering of others. So these information actually spread through the prison. Like, everybody was laughing. All the guards were laughing. They were telling me this, like, that my own lawyer actually made me stay in the prison. That's insane. This is insane. So I couldn't go out. After the court, I knew I'm not gonna go out, but I was just refusing. I just sit down and I just said I'm gonna refuse. One of the police guard, I was telling you, one of the police guard who had these tears, the tattoo of the tears, he was just pushing me, kicking me, like, start using physical violence. That is not how you treat people, not even in Zimbabwe. Anyways, it was terrible. It was totally terrible. I didn't know what to do. I knew tomorrow is the court and I have no idea what to expect. I knew that there is no evidence, the case was totally, I must say that the prosecutor did a really good job. He was really trying to find out the truth, and he was very objective. The weirdest thing was when my lawyer actually told me that they also want to take me as the witness, or they want to hear my statements. Do you remember when I told you that he gave me the paper to write where the first, to write all the statements the first witness lied about? On the front side, there was my defense, which I've never seen. How can you, the person who is accused, together with the lawyer, is supposed to see and do the defense together, right? However, there were even some statements I did not agree with. When the prosecutor started reading it, I found out, oh my god, this is not even true. There were lies in the defense. For example, the defense was saying that I did actually the video in private. And now I was being asked at the court. I was being asked the question, where did I make the video? I told the truth. I made it on public. That's an easy question, right? I'm a person who doesn't like to lie, who doesn't have problems to tell the truth. However, the next question the prosecutor gave me, he read the defense counsel, where there was written that I was making the video in private. And he asked me, so did you make it on the street or in the private? I was firm. I was telling the truth. I made it on the street. So he told me, so you either lie right now or you lie in your defense. It's not even me lying in the defense. I didn't even do the defense, right? But what can I do? I have completely no influence on what is my defense, but then it's taken as my statements. I was desperate. I just told him, no, I made the video as it is.